Hello, and welcome to Music and Motivation with Chris Davis. I'm your host, Chris Davis. This is episode 17. Today is Wednesday, March 11th, 2020. Thank you for tuning in. This podcast doesn't happen without listeners like you, so thank you for listening in and spending some time with your man, Chris Davis. It's hump day. We're halfway through the week. It's been a sweet week thus far. Lots of productivity. I got that bass that I was building done, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. Been mastering that album all week, and I'm almost ready to send it off. I'm 99% there. If I spend 3 to 4 hours on it today, I can probably send it off tomorrow if I want to. Let's see what else be going on. I've lined up some tips for surviving the week as always, and I got some tips for my musician/music lover friends. So let's start with those tips for surviving the week. Let's just hop right in, people. Thanks for hanging out. Here's a few tips to get through the week. Number 1, try to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. For some people with our work schedules, that's not really feasible. It's all about those REM cycles, you sleep for about an hour and you go into the cycles of sleep. I think the cycles are about 90 minutes each, so try to plot your sleep schedule around that. If you can't quite get those 7 to 8 hours a night, try to get, if 90 minutes, that's an hour and a half. Try to get 3, 4.5, or 6 hours of sleep. Somewhere to match those REM cycles so you feel good. Because if you wake up right out of one of those REM cycles, you fucking hurt. That shit sucks. So try to get some good sleep, guys. Keeps you going. It keeps the machine working. So, it's kind of like an oil change for your car. So tip number 2, keep hanging out with positive people. That's what, your boy Chris is here for. I'm trying to share my positivity with you, but you probably have other positive people in your life, and, make sure that they know you care about them. Make sure they know they're a good influence on you, and you look up to them. And, yeah, man, keep hanging out with them. Those are the cool kind of people I like to hang out with, are the positive ones that honestly want the best for you. So keep those people around. Let them know you give a shit about them. If you know me, we're out in the shed. I'm going to take just a second for myself because we waking up. We doing the thing. Smoke them if you got them, people. Tip number 3. Try to eat well and try to find a form of exercise that you like. Running's not for everybody, but if you really like running, I got a few people in my family who are super into running. There's a high that comes with running all its own, and it's healthy for you, and people attain it on a daily basis, and it's wonderful. But I personally like bike riding. But if neither of those suit you, there's a million other ways to exercise. Just find one that you can get into. Try to do that 3 times a week, you know what I'm saying? There's worse things than exercising and eating well. For me, last night, instead of eating my normal cosmic brownie, oatmeal cream pie combo for, my snack right before bed, I ate celery and ranch. Who would have thought, you know what I'm saying? That was really healthy. It was a great way to go to bed. I kind of feel alright this morning. I'm going to attribute it to the vegetables. So, try to eat well and find some form of exercise that you enjoy. Tip number 4. When the shit's done, let it go. This one seems a little weird. When the shit is done, let that shit go. This came from a list of college tips for dealing with exams. And instead of shit, it originally said, when the exam is done, let that shit go. I'm saying that about everything. If you got that negative shit in your life, get through it, accomplish what you have to, succeed, and then let it, drop it. Even if it doesn't feel super good, just drop it. Move on, find the next good thing to focus on in your life. That's all I'm saying about that. When the shit is done, let it go. If you know me and we're out in the shed, I'm going to take another second for myself. Y'all smoke them if you got them and enjoy this background track, you know what I'm saying? Tremendous. Let's move right along, people. I got some tips for my musicians and my music lovers out there. For my musicians, keep it fun. Music is all about relieving stress, having fun, and making something beautiful. Kind of like painting, So make sure you remember that it's fun. And if you're learning something and you're getting frustrated with it, don't focus on it. Try to play something else that you enjoy that's maybe a little easier or something, and make sure you're having fun with it. Tip number 2, organize a jam session. I don't think there's nothing like playing music with other people, and I think we improve the fastest when we're jamming with other people. Also, it's great with working on your social skills and being able to network. So try to organize a jam session. Maybe it could be with some friends, maybe some coworkers. Maybe you get on a website like Facebook or Bandmix and try to find another musician or two. Crazier things have happened, but try to organize a jam session this week. And then for all of my musicians, again, try to get to know your gear. Know that shit in and out. Know what every button does. Know all the different functions of it. When you buy a new piece of gear, actually read the manual. I remember back in the day, I used to just throw the manual out and be like, I'm gonna figure it all out. No, read the manual. Figure out all the different functions and how to do cool stuff with your equipment. Because that's how you become a competent musician as well. So, if you're a gearhead, understand your gear and get to know your gear. That's it for my tips for my musicians / music lovers. As always, if you don't already, make sure you got some good music in your cars, because we spend so much time in our lives in our cars, we might as well have some good jams in there, right? It makes the day so much more doable. We enjoy ourselves more. Make sure you got that good music or that aux cable in your car. Enough said on the musicians and music lover tips. I got some Chris Davis news / life tips to end on. And, as always, if there's anybody out there listening to this who's really struggling today, my heart goes out to y'all. That's why we hanging out. Maybe you thought maybe you needed a friend today, and, maybe I'll tune into Chris because, I love that dude. Well, I love you too. I hope shit gets better for you. I have a few tips for my people struggling right now that I wanted to talk about. This is the main deal. I wanted to say, ask yourself where you're going to be in 10 years. Is what you're struggling with right now really going to matter? I don't know, maybe it'll put the whole struggle into perspective and help you get out of the funk, but I'd like to think that in 10 years from now, you will have happily accomplished whatever you're struggling with, gotten through it, pulled through, and you're a happier person 10 years from now. I hope that's the situation. You just got to make that happen. And I believe in y'all. I'm super proud of y'all for hanging in there. It's not super easy being a human being sometimes, but, when the struggle is real, hang with those positive people in your life, those people that genuinely want something good for you. That's what I'm here for. That's the whole point of this music and motivation. But I'm sure you got other people who care about you in your life. Make sure they know you care about them, and make sure you hang with them to get yourself out of the funk. Don't just be a hermit. Go out and see some people who want some goodwill for you, you know what I mean? And, speaking of people who want to do something nice for you, try to do something nice for yourself today. if you're really going through it, nothing's like doing one of your favorite hobbies on a day you're struggling by yourself. You don't have people there to bug you. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to at the time. Just go fucking shoot some arrows. Go fucking for a walk. Go bike riding. Go hang out by the creek. I don't know, do something fun for yourself today. Okay? Chris Davis News, the fucking Afternoon Rain album is coming out. It's going to come out by 4/20, but I'm sending off all of the master tracks tomorrow. Got a few hours of mastering ahead of me today. Super excited to release this new album. It's going to be super dope. Let me think. I'm trying to think of other news going on. We just hung out on Monday, so trying to get some guests for the podcast. Again, if I'm going to have a guest on the podcast, I'll put it in the title so you all know right off the bat whether or not it's a solo episode or if I got a guest with me hanging out. I'd love to have some interesting guests soon. I'd love to have my drummer Matthew Bohasic on here. So Matt, if you're listening into this week, love you, buddy. You're fucking boss. Also, we need to do a podcast, so hit me back up on that. Big Farmer, hey bro, if you're listening to this, you need to get on the podcast too. Same with motherfucking Rick James. Rick James, one of my main men. Maybe if you're lucky, I'll start telling Rick James stories on the podcast, but mostly they're NSFW, you know what I'm saying? So, I haven't told any real Rick stories yet, but Rick James, if you're out there, I'd love to have you on the podcast, and I know you'd thoroughly enjoy it. So, also, I hope all y'all are having a great week. It's Wednesday, so I'm going to try to get another one of these out, maybe Friday or Saturday. Sunday's really busy for me, so I'll try to go Friday or Saturday this week. I don't know, y'all. It's been a good week. Keep hustling. Make sure you make some time for yourself in there somewhere. And stay positive, people. And hang out with those positive people that want the best for you. I want the best for you. I think y'all are great. Have a great rest of your work week, people. I'm going to tune back in over the weekend. I hope you do the same. Love y'all. I have nothing but love and respect for you listeners. Take it easy. This is Cool Chris signing off. Have a great rest of your week. Peace.